Hi folks, welcome back to My Train Journey. It's Matt Ward documenting basically the building of my layout. So thanks for joining. As you know, in previous episodes I've had some track issues because I'm not very familiar with track, and so I did pick up a rail car to do some testing, and seems like I've got a great deal of my track issues figured out, and I wanted to share that with you. So I did a test. I did redo some of the joints here that were a little rough, and they were slightly derailing the car from time to time. And then over here, where I had cut out a piece of track and put in some new joints and done a better job nailing it down and whatnot. So I'm going to do a real quick test. What I've been doing is just running this car right up the side and around, and kind of seeing if it makes it around. So we'll give it a shot. Here we go. Alright, made it around pretty good. So what I've been doing is coming up here and doing one more test, going around again. And that was the same direction. So now we'll go back the other way. I didn't give it enough. But notice that I'm not level, so it goes back. So we'll get it around one more time. Okay, so there's my flat car running around the track. So I guess I'll pose a question: is there anything else I need to be testing before I move on to other things? Like, I think my next step is I want to replace some of the rail ties that I have out. So some spots like this, here and here, and then of course the gaps that I just showed. So I want to do that next, which obviously I don't need your help with. I mean, I'm not asking about that, but and then I want a ballast. So I think that's my next steps. I do need to finish my yard over there, and I picked up a little bit more cork for that to kind of redo that and finish. I have one more switch to put in, and I guess I need to test all that stuff. So that's pretty much what I got. So one thing I didn't do, now that I mentioned it, is I did not actually test the switch. So even though, by the way, that I had this big gap in here, it doesn't derail at all. And I know I mentioned that in a previous episode. I think because I don't like the gap, I am going to replace a small section of this. However, guess I ought to test out my Pico switch here and see how. Looks good for now. Alright, so that's what I got. Leave your comments. Appreciate it. Thanks.